Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Back at it Sunday morning at the Central New York Regional Market in Syracuse, New York. This is a place that I try to go to every Sunday. It's an outdoor and indoor flea market with lots of vendors consolidated into one space, so it's an efficient place to go to do sourcing. So I'm going to turn around in just a moment to show you what it's like, and then we'll see what we can find. This is it. Basically, there is not a lot of people here right now. When the season really picks up, you will see all these areas will be filled with different vendors. Like this spot right here will all be filled. There's just not a lot actually here right now. This is like the first day that this would really be active. All these different sheds will be open, including over here, and then there's another one down there. So it's not actually going to be a ton of stuff today. You can see there's some people all the way down there. So we're going to take a look, see what we can find, just get through here relatively quickly today compared to the average day, and then we'll see what happens. You know, just as a general pointer, inspect things before you actually, even bother looking them up to purchase them. So for here, like for example, you want to check the zippers. The zippers work fine, but here you can see inside is kind of damaged, so wouldn't even bother looking it up. So make sure you check it, inspect it before you actually start investigating it too thoroughly. Okay. This is good. 2 for $1 on the DVDs, and right here I got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 3 versions of Saw. There's Saw Original, Saw 2, and Saw 3, which will go with the Saw DVDs that I got yesterday. So just keep adding to that. Alright, moving on. Let's keep up here to our DVDs. This is a good example of something to get. It's an independent comic from 1987. Nice and colorful. Big monster on the front of it. No comps on it. But for $3, totally worth it. So pick this one up. This is the inside. Stuff here is a little more pricey because it's primo space, but you can see it goes back really, really far. So we'll check out some things. I'm gonna look at these comic books and see if there's anything good. All right. Get this one here, Count Dracula and his Vampire Brides. Jeepers Creepers 2. So it's another for the horror DVD lot. Okay, so here's the situation. These are all sealed. The Smallville set 1 through 5, that she's asking 5 a piece, but all of them for 20. They would sell for 55. However, I'm going to try to get the Roswell Complete Series thrown in for 25 because that would make much more sense for me, because that one alone would sell for 55. So that's what we're going to try. All right, so they went for it. $25 for Smallville seasons 1 to 5, sealed. Totally sealed. And what really made the deal sweet and go over the edge was the Roswell Complete Series sealed. You could see it is originally in Best Buy for $80, and we wound up getting a great deal for it. That's not it. There's something else, which if you've looked at my Jack Daniels videos before, you have seen me that I've purchased these before. These are 3D signs with the girl in it and the pool table. This has always gone, I've sold it consistently for between $55 and $75. So you see I got this for $10, and the guy also, now the cellophane's ripped on it, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna peel it off and it'll still sell. The guy told me he bought a whole crate of it for me. There's about 12 of them, so I'm gonna pick those up next week, and it's just gonna be continuous profit off of those. So we're gonna check one more shed out. There's usually not much in it, and then we're gonna head off to some other sales. All right, so another great day already. All right, so this is the garage that I was just at here, and even though it might look like it's junky and there's just a lot of kids' toys on there, there actually was something good. I'm gonna turn the camera around in a second and you can see what I wound up getting. So what I found there, and these were also continuing one of the themes of the day, which is items that I'm buying that are new and sealed. As you can see, it has a price sticker of $3 on it. These are Kodak photo papers, and it's 8.5 by 11. Those are going to command more in price than the 4 by 6s. and you know, you can see they're sealed. These are, you know, look at what type it is. This is the sorry, there's a little glare there, but that's the matte type. And I got 2 of them and wound up getting them for 2 for $5, which has been a little deal. There, it's her second day of the sale, so she's motivated to just get rid of this stuff compared to yesterday. And these will each sell for somewhere between $16-$20, and so they'll ship out medium mail as well. So, you know, good little purchases. Those are the kind of things that keep your business going and keep you know, cash flow going. So pick up these things if you can for you know, for cheap price like that at garage sales. So, all right, moving on. All right, we are here at a Holiday Inn, not for vacation, but to take a picture of that random guy who just walked by my video. No, seriously here, the reason why we're here is this is for the Liverpool comic convention. It's one of my favorite, in fact, it is my favorite local comic convention that we have. And this is where a lot of you know, things with my reselling got started in terms of that 4,000 comic book collection that you see behind me in a lot of my videos. I found that at the end of one of these conventions. So it ends at 5, it's 2 o'clock, and now I'm going to kind of scope it out. It started at 10 o'clock, so this is where I get a sense of, you know, what people have left, if anyone might be interested in selling out their collections. Last time I came here, no one was, but there was one guy who I kind of have my eyes on in terms of hoping that he might be willing to sell out today, so we'll see. He's usually always here, so you know, last time he said his stuff was too new and he didn't want to get rid of it in terms of, not new in terms of how old it was, but just in terms of when he acquired it. So he wanted to make a little bit of money on it first, and now maybe he'll be interested, or someone else will be, I don't know. I'll turn it on when we get inside there, and you know, you kind of see, if you don't remember from my last video where I had this, in terms of what it looks like in there. So okay, we're heading in. So we are inside to the Comic-Con. You see we've got Spider-Man here dressed up. People dress up in their costumes. And it's a little smaller than the last one that I went to, but I'm just going to walk around to all the different booths, check out the comics, see if there's anyone, again, interested in selling out any collections, all sorts of cool toys and stuff like this. So we'll check it out. Again, this is pretty much the size of it, but it's a nice little cozy atmosphere. And you know, if there's anything worth filming, I'll turn this back on. Okay, everyone. All right, well, I just got out of there and nothing. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because over the last 2 days, I've showed you a lot of success, but at the same time, you do need to realize that not every time you're going to hit a home run, especially if you're new and starting out with this. Sometimes you're just not going to get anything. This was a little bit smaller of a convention than normally is. They put them in a smaller room, so they had fewer vendors. And the person who I wanted to try to buy a collection from, he wasn't having any of it, and he really did not want to sell. He was not motivated to sell out. So once I figure that out, then I don't even try to bother negotiating. I was really just trying to feel him out, and he just wanted to hold on to the book. So, but I still, you know, kept letting him know that I am interested if he ever does want to sell out, and made sure he had my contact information, which he does. So you never know, people's minds change all the time, and you could get a phone call where someone says, hey, you're still interested in buying, and there you go. You know, you got yourself fresh into the person's mind again. So just a little bit of networking, but no actual purchases here. Overall though, over the last 2 days, I am very happy with everything that wound up getting purchased. Hey, sorry for breaking the video there. I had to move to a different location. But despite the fact that this convention was a bust in terms of being able to source items for resale this time, it's not necessarily the end of the day. As many of you know, I have several ads on Craigslist that are targeted towards sourcing items. So I have one that's designed for obtaining comic books and collectibles, another one that's for Funko Pops, and another one that's just for general estate items. So I pretty much cover all of my bases. And someone responded last night to the comic book and collectibles ad, and he told me that he had a bunch of things and he was willing to send me a list and a few pictures, which he did. And turns out most of the comic books and the toys are new in the package, are from the 1990s. And as a general rule of thumb, toys and comic books from the 90s aren't really worth that much. The toys were really the best thing that he had. Then he later on told me he had some full card sets that were also not sports cards, but non-sports cards, like comic book card sets, like Marvel made a bunch of them, for example. He has some of those, and those could have some value. So it wasn't that there was no value there, but it wasn't like it was anything that was absolutely amazing or incredible, and I'd have to get it for a low enough price for it to make sense. when he initially responded, he said things like he knows what the values are in the price guide and he doesn't want to give them away, but he understands that he can't expect to get full retail price from them because he does know that I'm a reseller. So whenever someone says that they know what the price guide value is is for the items, that's a red flag that you might have a difficult time making a deal with somebody, because you have to explain to people that the price guide has zero to do with what the actual current value of the item is. Those price guides are pretty much fixed at one point in time. They don't move according to the market forces. If it's an actual printed out book that somebody has, I mean, there's online price guides too, but even there, those things need to be readjusted, and it's not like they readjust them every day. They go under periods of reviews in which they get updated. And really, the best way to understand what an item is currently worth is you have to look at what it has sold for recently. You could find that under eBay's completed sold listings tab, and then you also have to look at what someone's trying to currently sell the item for now. So that's the only way you could determine value, and that's the only thing you should consider. Don't factor in what it says into a price guide. So and people understand that when you bring that point up, so that's what you have to kind of say sometimes in negotiating. The other thing is that the person didn't want to throw out a price in terms of what he wanted for everything. I said, what's just the price for everything, so I could get a sense of whether or not I can make a deal with this person. He wasn't willing to say that at this time. So basically, given everything that I had going on yesterday and last night and what I knew about the items, and plus what I already have on hand in terms of my inventory, I am not in a position that I must get new items right now, that I need to get new items. I don't mind reinvesting if the opportunity is right, but it's an advantage for me as a buyer is that I could be picky. So I just basically told them, I'm really not interested right now, and good luck with the items. And I actually passed them on to another person who I know who might have been willing to buy the items for him. But then he actually wrote back and said, I don't have time to shop them around. I'm interested in just getting rid of them right now. If I don't, I just contacted you because I saw your ad. I wanted you to have a chance to, to make an offer on them. And, he basically said, I'm going to donate them if I can't get rid of them. So I basically said at that point, well, okay, now I know that the person is really desperate to sell. And if I go over there in person and see some of the other stuff that he has, it's in a great area where I find good collectibles. It's actually in North Syracuse. You heard me talk about North Syracuse yesterday. You never know what happens when you enter a house and start looking at different things and you say, hey, what about that? Is that for sale? Is this for sale? It's nothing like that in-person interaction. So I've gotten back in touch with him today. He may be able to meet up in a few hours, and if so, we're going to head over there and see if we can make a deal. So stay tuned on that one. So I'm here outside the guy's house. It's actually a few houses down from a person who I bought a binder of Pokemon cards from last year. So one of the reasons I'm here, again, this is the North Syracuse area, and you've heard me mention that term. If you're not from around here, it doesn't mean anything, but you're going to hear me bring it up over and over again because it's just an area where everybody's houses tend to be filled with collectibles. It's just incredible. So that's one of the factors that drove me here. So I am going to check out what this guy has, and I'll let you know what happened. I'm either going to come back empty-handed with just a little bit or with a whole lot of stuff. We'll see. Well, I'd say I found some stuff. I cannot believe how much stuff I got and what a deal I got. Tons of great comic books, toys, collectible cards. It's insane. I'm gonna have to do a whole separate haul video just on this, but I just wanted to update you that I did make the purchase. Really, going to North Syracuse, realizing it was North Syracuse, was just crucial in terms of making this deal happen. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow, but just wanted to let you know I did make the deal, and just stay tuned. There'll be a separate haul video tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, and drop a comment down below. I'll just kind of leave you in suspense a little bit tomorrow in terms of how much I paid for this, the negotiations, and what some of the specific things are that are buried under these boxes. Even the guy didn't realize what some of the stuff he had. These were taped up, and he opened them in front of me for the first time. So it's really incredible. All right, See everyone tomorrow.